All right, here we go. Kyle Cooper, one of my athletes that I coach. I've been doing this for him all season, just kind of watching a couple of his races here and there and giving him some breakdown tips. Honestly, Kyle has been doing a fantastic job at actually taking what I've been giving him and applying it into his next races. And it's starting to show because the dude is starting to get podiums. He picked up his first win a couple weeks ago. He's very close to upgrading to his Cat 2. Like, super excited, and stoke level is high for Kyle right now. But let's walk through this race. This race is a Cat 3-4 race. It's about a 30-minute crit down in SoCal. I believe it's in Ontario. Happened a couple weeks back. Honestly, this race was really fun for me to watch. Thoroughly enjoyed watching it. Kyle, you raced extremely well in here, extremely smart. I don't think you had any teammates because, one, I didn't see any around you in the field, and two, you were kind of the only one that was marking stuff. So I figured you didn't have any teammates, but still, nonetheless, you did a fantastic job in this race. I honestly have really nothing bad to say. You did a lot of good things right, good things. Right here, though, I did notice the field immediately. I mean, again, everyone is fresh when you start a crit, everyone. So if you're going to take the front like this, maybe just put in a little hard dig and string it out a little bit. Otherwise, just kind of sit in, relax. I mean, if you're using it to blow your legs out, I totally get that too. But it was crazy with your rear view camera. You see, you came through that corner and you started to gap the field, and then you came to the next corner and that one dude follow you and the field kind of got gapped again. Like, if you would have looked back and saw that, I would have put in just a little kind of a dummy attack. Like, go in around your 5-minute power and just kind of throw it down to the finish line and let this guy pull through and see how the field responds. There's no shame in that. Plus, you kind of blow your legs out, but then I would go off the front immediately. So then we jump forward. We're about 6.5 minutes into this 30-minute crit. Dude, you were just you're getting way better at following wheels and being alert, which I'm super stoked on. So you're just kind of riding in the pack, and honestly, you're in a great position. You're in the top 5, top 10. Like, that's where you want to be in crits. That way you're kind of out of all the danger. And right here we see this guy on the back left. He starts coming around you. You did a great job at jumping on his wheel, and you guys instantly get a gap. The field behind you was not alert for that, and then they ended up jumping a little bit late. But you're honestly kind of getting a free ride right now. I mean, what you're doing just over your threshold. Now you're back down to like zone 2. Like, great job on following this guy's wheel. Obviously, he's getting a little tired. He coasted through that corner quite a bit, and there's no reason to coast through that corner. But anyways, this was just a good way to be alert and a good wheel to follow. And I really like how you're just sitting in, you're being patient, and you're letting this guy just do this huge dig on the front. There's no reason for you to take over at this point. The whole field is on your wheel. There's really nothing else for you to do. So just being where you are, I mean, this is just free draft. But the only thing you do have to realize now is, at the back of your mind, be alert for that next one. So right here, when he starts to pull off, you guys kind of have a gap here. So I would have actually maybe attacked him through a little bit, but again, he wants to stay on the front and do all the work, so let him do all the work. That's totally fine. Now, you did a good job at, again, following more wheels. These guys kind of take the inside line, they keep the pace up. Automatically, you jump in. Your second, third wheel, no shame in that at all. I like what I'm seeing so far. You're being patient. I think when we started the year, you were a little impatient, and you touched the front quite a bit, and you do these massive pulls. And now you're starting to realize that, hey, a lot of stuff goes off the front, but everyone else is so motivated that it doesn't go anywhere. Especially in the first 5 to 10 minutes, everyone is motivated. So everyone is going to chase. Everyone's going to burn their matches up early. So therefore, it takes a lot of weight off of your shoulders. And now people are starting to get a little frisky. I mean, we're almost 8.5 minutes into the race. This guy starts to go in front of you. Definitely follow that wheel. I would have followed it a lot better, a lot quicker, a lot sooner. He would have saved precious energy. And then if you were on his wheel, when he would have gave up like that, I would have attacked extremely hard around him. So if you would have followed his wheel from the get-go, you would have been in his draft saving watts, and then as soon as he sat up, I would have pulled to the right or left like you did, and I would have snapped at like 800 watts to get across. Because this guy now is going off the front, you know, the field is blown apart behind you, you're stuck on the front chasing this guy, and honestly you just kind of burn some matches. This guy pulls through, so that's going to give you a free wheel to follow, but again, the pack behind you is pretty blown apart. So again, if you would have accelerated and got on that dude's wheel from the very get-go, and then once he sat up, attacked a lot harder through, like just burn a little quick match, like 800 watts to get across, you would have gotten across a lot sooner. You would have been on the guy's wheel in front of you, and you would have been sitting up, resting in his draft, and then you guys could have gotten a little rhythm. Because again, the field is completely blown apart right now. Everyone is motivated and they are chasing. So now we jump forward. We're about 16 minutes into the race. We're about the halfway point. That guy, this guy's been off the front for about a lap or two now. You guys are getting ready to pull him back right here. I would have countered right up the middle. I mean, I would have snapped at about 700-800 watts. I would have countered that, and I would have just gone, and then hopefully someone would have followed you. That would have been the perfect move to do. I mean, that's the perfect time, because you had someone off the front, the field was just chasing, and right when you're about ready to capture him, the field speed comes back down. So you guys went from like 27 miles an hour, you're now down to 23 miles an hour. There's a big lull, everyone behind you starting to bunch up. I would have definitely counter-attacked once you caught him. Counter meaning you bring the guy back, now you go on the offensive, on the attack, and try to get away and hopefully take people with you. But nonetheless, these guys come crazy hard, and see, you do a big match right here to get on, which is perfect. But that way to be alert there, like that is huge. You guys are over the halfway mark, so now anything that starts to go off the front is gonna be dangerous. Anyone who tries to break away and get away from that main pack, it's gonna be very dangerous, because you guys are over the halfway mark, so now the odds of you actually succeeding are going up. And it looks like you guys got someone else on your wheel, and then you guys start to settle into a really nice rhythm. Like, you know your power curve, you know what you can do. There's 4 of you here, right? And it's a pretty big course. I mean, you guys could each take a straightaway, and that would be perfect. So you guys do a great job at doing this. The only thing I would suggest, and I don't know where the wind's coming from, but understanding where the wind is coming from, if you guys could all get on the same page and realize, hey, if the wind is coming left to right, the rider in the front needs to pull off to the right, and then the pack will come through. That way, the pack shields the rider who's just pulled, who's dropping back, shielding him from all that wind. And then if the wind was coming, and then you switch the corner and now it's coming into a headwind, it doesn't matter which side you break off of. Like, I thought this was weird. That dude kind of pointed to go to the gutter, and you guys went over to the gutter. So I wonder if the wind was coming right to left here. If so, I mean, this is how you want to do it. Now you are fully protected as you slide back to get back into the draft. And then these guys come around you, you jump right back in. Now technically you would have like a tailwind, so it still wouldn't matter. But now knowing that on the next side it would be a crosswind from like left to right, then you guys would all want to start pulling off to the right side. So just understanding where the wind's coming from, that's going to help you figure out which side you need to pull off on. So I can't tell from the trees, and I haven't really seen any flags. I mean, maybe there's no wind at all. Maybe it's pretty calm. So with that, it doesn't really matter then, but that's always something to think about. Like right here, it might be a headwind, so then it doesn't really matter. You just kind of drop the way you're doing. But nonetheless, you guys did a fantastic job at working together, and you come around and that lap counter just showed 5 laps to go. I mean, honestly, this is a killer move to be in. Yes, it's a little late in the race, and if you get caught, you might be out of gas a little bit. But then again, think about how hard the field is chasing you right now. Like, think about how they have to get organized, and they have to get motivated to chase you. And if they hesitate too much, you guys are gone and it's over. But you guys are doing a great job. I think it's super cool. I think it's a risk that you should take. I mean, there's no shame in it. I mean, it's over the halfway mark. The odds are in your favor. Give this thing a go. You got 4 guys. 4 guys, all 4 of you are super motivated to work too, which is fantastic. Sometimes you get down to like 4 laps to go and people start, playing games, and it's like, guys, we got 4 laps to go. The pack's not that far behind us. We got to keep the pressure on. So you guys do a fantastic job at this. Great group of guys. You guys are working well together, great pools, all kinds of different things. So I have nothing bad to say here. And the only thing is, you are going to have to start to think about, hey, what do I do when it's coming down to 3 to go, 2 to go? How hard do I pull at the front? You start to realize, there's certain guys that are, you can tell, the power you're putting out in the drive, you could tell which guys are like smashing their watts and which guys aren't. So you kind of have to watch the guys who aren't. So the guys who are, you definitely want them to be the last ones to pull when coming into the finish. The guys who are not smashing their watts, you probably want to be behind their wheel because you know that they're going to be the ones that are going to want to snap right before the finish and try to sprint, get the win. So that's just something to think about when you're in the breakaway. But here we come, 4 to go, and it looks like you picked up 2 more on the back. And then if you actually look at that rear camera, you can see the pack is coming hard. So they are extremely motivated. So at this point, you guys are gonna get caught. It's not a matter of if, but when, which kind of sucks, honestly. When I was watching this, I was like, oh my gosh, dude, you made the race winning break. This is so sick. You're gonna win the race out of the break right now. But you guys got caught, and I was really surprised, to be honest. I mean, you guys were working so well together. The pace was so high, but that pack must have been super motivated, which tells me that the beginning of the race just wasn't quite hard enough because so many guys in the pack were able to jump in. So now that you are all back together, dude, get off the front. At this point, you need to not be on the front. Like, not touch the wind at all. You're in about 3.5 laps to go. You're gonna have to save up for the sprint now. So do not touch the front. Like, that is huge. Unless someone attacks, like, do not touch the front. And I get it, this guy, he's putting in a good little dig, so you're sitting pretty right now, but when he pulls off, you pull off with him. You don't want to pull around him. You don't want to get on the front and driving the pace, because then what that's going to do, again, it's going to hinder your recovery, and you're not going to be able to have a great snap for the final sprint of the race. Although he's starting to open up some daylight with the group behind you, so if you're looking back and you saw that, maybe you touch the front and you do a good little dig, which you kind of do, but then obviously they're all right there, right here. Just pull off to the right, soft pedal, let someone else pull through. You're coming around, you got 2 laps to go. You definitely need to be sitting in the top 5, top 10, fighting for position and saving energy for that sprint. Good news is, hopefully the rest of the pack is pretty tired because they did a huge chase effort to catch you guys, because you guys are off the front for probably 3 or 4 laps. So that is huge. But here we come, just under 2 to go now. This is where you want to now sit in, hide, be patient, really try to hold position. This dude right here in the orange, he's been killing it all day too. So something to take note is to realize what guys in the race are riding really strong and riding really well. I've seen that guy, especially in the end here, he's very motivated to stay at the front. So if anything, this guy in front of you, that is the wheel you want to follow. So I would totally stick with that guy and just follow him wherever he goes. Honestly, he has a teammate too. Right? Yeah. He's got a teammate right there in front of him. See that guy, he's trying to hold his teammates. Okay, that's just wrong. You can't take, there's no reason for a guy to come in and tell you, hey, move, I want your teammate's wheel. It's the opposite, actually. Like, if that guy was telling me to move off of my teammate's wheel, I'd look at him and be like, no, bro, get lost. You get on your own teammate's wheel. But that was kind of funny. Anyways, this dude, he's doing work for you. He's keeping you at the front. He's always moving forward. You picked a good wheel to follow. Super excited with that. Now we're coming around. I believe this is 1 lap to go. So we got 1 lap to go. Things are going to start getting dicey. If it slows up even the slightest to the front, there's a risk of you getting swarmed, which you do not want to get swarmed. That is a huge no-no, because then you can lose position extremely fast. So what happens here is we start to come up towards these cones. You're still on this guy's wheel. I like what you do here. You kind of notice that guy's coming up on the left, and you kind of move over a little bit, take some wind there to discourage, but then you cut it off and you take the inside corner off on him. That's perfect. That's protecting your line, protecting your side. Again, you're doing a fantastic job at staying on this dude's wheel, just kind of watching him, following him. He's doing a lot of work for you. Now this guy's moving up on the right here. Don't let that happen. There's nothing wrong with kind of reaching your elbow out a little bit and just tapping his hip, giving him a little hip check that lets him know that, like, hey, I'm on this wheel. You're not pushing him or anything. You're just kind of rubbing his hip, letting him know that you're there. Now this other guy came in on the inside of you and he took that wheel away from you, which honestly sucks because that was a great wheel to follow. But you're doing a good job at being patient. You're just sitting in. You're not worrying too much. And now you're coming around this corner, doing a great job. Now you're realizing you need to start moving up. Oh, actually, we're coming into 1 to go right now. I'm so sorry. Here we go, 1 to go, 1 lap to go. You're doing a great job at moving up. Doing a solid effort. Just be patient. Yep, here we go, 1 to go, right? Yep, 1 lap to go. Yeah, just be patient. You're doing a great job. You gotta sit in. Just watch it. Don't freak out. There's someone kind of going off the front, so someone else is gonna take up chase. There's a couple guys going off the front. You're doing a great job. Follow this wheel. Follow, guys. Okay, that guy on the left's going. This guy responds and jumps on his wheel. Great job. Continue to stay on this guy's wheel. You're a little far back, but in the same time, not super worried. There are gaps opening up, so that's gonna make it kind of hard. Again, don't touch the front. These guys are motivated. They are pressing to get up there. Stay on their wheels. That guy obviously can't close the gap. He pulls off to the right. This guy comes up on the left. Okay, that's that orange guy again. Definitely jump on his wheel. Now, when you jump on this guy's wheel, you stay on his wheel. So I would have jumped on his wheel and stayed on it. And then right here, this is where you made your mistake. Instead of following his wheel to the front, because we're coming up with, what, 2 corners to go, you kind of now have to go around that guy, and now you're stuck too far back. Again, I would have jumped on that guy's wheel, because look, you would have been second wheel going into this last corner, and you could have came out of the corner wide and took off sprinting. Instead, you got kind of forced inside, and then you took off sprinting. Well, that's okay, dude. You have a great kick to the line. That dude just motored away up the road, and you come in and you get 4th. Okay, so it sucks. You got the guy on the right. He just pipped you at the line for 3rd, and then you got the orange guy. He was still on the far right out of the camera view, and he pipped you for a 2nd. I think he came in. No, he came in 3rd, and the other guy came in 2nd. You came in 4th. This guy came in 1st. But again, had you followed that dude in the orange all the way to the front in that last part, you would have came out of that corner 2nd wheel, and you could have came around him wide and opened up a really solid sprint for the win. But hey, live and learn. That's what happens. Overall, dude, fantastic race. Loved watching it. Some really good moves that you got in late race. Great stuff. A way to be patient during that sprint. Overall, I thought it was really good. Hey guys, thanks for watching this. Just throw up the little subscribe button right here. Just totally appreciate all the support. Other than that, keep riding hard, keep training hard, and I will catch you guys on the next video.